The Dead Children Incident, otherwise known as the DCI in the FNAF community, is essentially a big black spot in FNAF's lore, with there being only limited speculation and even fewer answers. Viewers still struggle to even figure out what even was the point of a second murder spree at all. This has caused many fans to resort to writing at the DCI entirely by having it possess absolutely nothing. But today, I want to try changing that, and maybe be able to provide some clarity. And the best way I can do that is by piecing together everything solid that we can about the DCI and their fate. But before we begin, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this analysis. Now let's get right into it. What was the DCI exactly? The DCI was the event that took place in November of 1987 at the new and improved fnaftheory pizza, where William Afton had become the day guard unknowingly of Fast Entertainment, used a spare yellow suit, and killed another set of victims. We see the event directly depicted in the Save Them minigame, where the puppet awakes Freddy asking him to save them, being guided across the pizzeria, finding 5 bodies and 6 blood pools. You will eventually be stopped by Purple Guy, who dashes with Freddy into the minigame. With a text on screen, you can't. Now that is pretty much the most straightforward thing we can get about the incident, but now that means we can get into the more particular details and piece things together. So let's start by asking the question, how did the DCI even happen? Well, it seems to have occurred the week directly before the gameplay, due to the toys always being possessed, and rumors always having gone around regarding Fazbear's, according to Ralph.
Oh hey, before I go, I wanted to ease your mind about any rumors you might have heard lately. You know how these local stories come and go and seldom mean anything. I can personally assure you that whatever is going on out there, however tragic it may be, has nothing to do with our establishment. It's just all rumor and speculation, people trying to make a buck, you know. Our guard during the day has reported nothing unusual, and he's on watch from opening till close. Okay, well anyway, hang in there and I'll talk with you tomorrow.
We can also discover during the Night 6 phone call that a yellow suit was used by Afton.
Hello? What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right.
As I've probably mentioned too many times at this point in past videos, Night 6 is the night goldenfreddy starts to appear, indicating that he was the suit used. This is even supported by the drawing on the wall depicting Fredbear luring children at the new and improved fnaftheory pizza. We can also find Shadow Freddy in the same background the yellow suit was in, while also being in Golden Freddy's slumped position. Considering Tutlesss' Purple Guy's first appearance, and that Shadow Freddy is the inverse of Golden Freddy, being purple, this connects Purple Guy to him. So it would appear that Afton had worn the Fredbear suit and murdered the DCI victims. The real question everyone cares about is, what happens to them after they die? We can see in the Save Them minigame that their bodies are sprawled out across the floor of the pizzeria. Do they even end up possessing the toys? Does the puppet even give them life? And the answer to that question is an astounding yes. The toys have to be possessed by the DCI victims. Firstly, you got 5 new animatronics for 5 new bodies. You even got a secret bloodstain under a table, matching JJ who hides under a table. And yes, that may mean there's a 6th victim of the DCI, but it seems more of an Easter egg than anything actually important, as who really cares about JJ? But anyway, it makes no sense to introduce 5 new animatronics and 5 new dead kids if those kids do not possess the animatronics. And also, reusing robotic parts wouldn't transfer the MCI kids to the toys. In order to save myself some time and also shout out someone else, go watch GlitchXD's video on the toy animatronics here. It's a really good one if you haven't seen it. I'll also link it down below. But with that out of the way, it does seem the DCI kids do possess the toy animatronics after they were murdered by William in the Fredbear suit a week before Jeremy's shift. Afterwards, they end up getting scrapped when the location closes down. And honestly, as far as FNAF 2 goes, that's pretty much everything we get about the DCI in that game. But what if I told you we do have more? That they weren't entirely forgotten in FNAF 3 and 4? What if I told you we can actually identify the DCI victims? To identify the DCI victims, we have to return to FNAF 4's Night 3 minigame, where we can come across a set of kids outside the establishment. Firstly, a kid with a spring Bonnie plush, a pigtail girl, a boy laughing, a girl with toys, and a kid with a balloon. To those who are very observant, you might have noticed something odd about at least some of these kids. The balloon kid perfectly matches Balloon Boy, and this toy girl has a Toy Chica toy missing her beak. This was even singled out by Scott on the FNAF World website, and we even see it happen in the Save Them minigame. Clearly there was something more here that's important. Well, that begs the question, what did Scott mean by this? What was the purpose in Scott wanting us to notice this? What is special about these kids? What if I propose that these kids are actually the future DCI victims, that FNAF 4 is foreshadowing their fate? While I think that almost everyone can agree that there is a definite connection with the balloon kid matching BB and the toy girl having removed Chica's beak, some may ask, can we find connections with the other street kids to the toys? Well, for that, I will hand that off to a friend and fellow creator, Shadow Libra.
Hello, my name is Shadow Libra, and massive thank you to Tutlesss for having me on his channel. So, as Tutlesss already explained, one of the kids looks a lot like BB, while this girl has a toy Chica doll without a beak. Scott even called out the missing beak on his website back in 2015. But what about the others? One of the kids appears to be older than the rest. We see him wear a green t-shirt and blue jeans, and in a later minigame, this exact same kid is in the same outfit and appears to be wearing a Freddy mask, which if we continue the logic that each of these kids have a connection to the toys, this now connects the green shirt kid to Toy Freddy. The last two are the plush trap kid and the pigtail girl. These two can be interpreted either way, but I believe the plush trap kid is Mangle and the pigtail girl is Toy Bonnie. The plush trap kid has a Spring Bonnie finger trap, which I think could be a reference to how Mangle in FNAF 2 has two heads, and the pigtail girl has green eyes, the same color as Toy Bonnie's eyes. However, I can see the argument for plush trap kid being Toy Bonnie since her finger trap is of a rabbit character. My issue with that is there wouldn't really be anything to connect Pigtail Girl to Mangle at that point, other than process of elimination. One more thing is, in the new Into the Pit game, there is an arcade game called Rescue the Children, which is very similar to the name of the FNAF 2 minigame where we meet the victims who become the toys. That minigame has a voice spelling out Save Them. The Rescue the Children minigame has you play as BB, rescuing 4 other kids, matching the number of victims in FNAF 2, and one of these victims has the pigtails and wears orange just like the pigtail girl in FNAF 4, which could also make the BB that you play as the BB kid from that minigame. Now back to you, Tutlesss.
Thank you again, Shadow Libra, for coming on and explaining connections between the street kids and the toys, especially that one connection he found in the recent Into the Pit game. So as you can see, there is a connection here to the toys. And while some do believe that the Freddy bully is also his dad from Into the Pit, that is more of an assumption than anything, as Into the Pit never emphasizes the mask that falls from the attic or connects the dad to the Bite of 83. I think it's just more likely to be a mask from 1985 Freddy's, where the MCI happened in Frights, rather than the Bite of 83. Otherwise, there would be attention called to it. Also, something really cool about this theory is that it does provide potential motivation for why William did the DCI and target these kids, having been associated with the crying child. William would have targeted for their familiarity, having either bullied or scared the crying child. With Afton's whole focus on family as well, this could be seen as William killing the kids who helped destroy his family and image. But also because they'd be familiar to the crying child, and so by killing them and adding to the family, it maintains a, well, symmetry, you could say. This can also be combined with Afton testing possession without being stuffed as well. Of all the theories out there for Afton's motivations for the DCI, I think this one actually works the most, and I'm really confident in it. So now that we have the DCI victims identified, the last question begs itself. What happened to them after FNAF 2? Did they get scrapped and forgotten? Did they linger? Did they even get freed? This is the question that has eluded theorists for years. Theories such as MoltenMCI have attempted to remedy this question to not much support. However, a new theory has been born recently. Created by Cryonite on YouTube, Lefty DCI gives a potential answer to DCI after FNAF 2, having been amalgamated into Lefty before it captured Charlie. And while I don't believe this theory at the moment, I do think it's still very interesting and worth considering and possible. So I suggest checking out its 2 videos on the subject right here, and propose new ideas to flesh out and maybe give ideas to fix any problems with the theory. I really liked his 2 videos, and I definitely think he's onto something, so please check it out and give your own thoughts on it. But sadly, this is not a Lefty DCI segment. So do we even have anything that resolves the toys and the DCI kids in the original games? Yes, but for this, I'm going to hand it back over to Shadow Libra, who will explain the evidence and also give more evidence for the street kids being the toys.
Another thing I think supports these kids being the toy animatronics is in FNAF 3's Happiest Day minigame, we see that each kid's spirit has a balloon over their heads that rise up with them as the masks fall down, which would imply the balloons represent their souls rising up into heaven. Before we get to the table with the missing kids, we see a few extra tables with 5 more kids wearing unfamiliar masks. All of them have balloons over their heads too. At this point in the series, we have actually been introduced to 5 other victims besides the missing kids and Charlie, those being the kids in FNAF 2 who become the toy animatronics. Not only do the extra kids match the number of victims, but their masks match the colors as the kids in the FNAF 4 minigame. One of the masks is orange and has green eyes. Pigtail Girl wears orange and has green eyes. Another mask is this green mask matching the color of Plush Trap Kid's shirt. A pink mask matching the color of Toy Girl's shirt. This kid wears a green shirt and jeans just like the Freddy bully. Lastly, while there isn't much connecting the BB kid to the purple mask, he does have a combination of BB's colors, red and blue, which make purple. Some people think these masks belong to the Mediocre Melodies, but I don't think that makes much sense because 1, Ned Bear is not blue, and 2, nothing hints at the Mediocre Melodies being possessed. If they were possessed, Henry would want them in his labyrinth in FNAF 6, but they are not required to buy in order to get the completion ending. One more thing, look at the kids' eye colors. Toy Bonnie has green eyes, Mangle has yellow eyes. Now look at these 2 kids. One of them has green eyes and the other has yellow eyes. The other 3 toy animatronics all have blue eyes, while the rest of these kids appear with black eyes. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Happiest Day, where the spirits rest, shows 5 extra kids, 2 of them having the same eye colors as 2 of the toy animatronics, and the other 3 sharing the same eye color as well. These kids, I believe, are meant to be the toys, and they also happen to share a lot of similar features with the kids in FNAF 4 as well. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I'll hand the mic back to Tutlesss.
In summary, the DCI victims are the neighborhood kids from FNAF 4. In 1987, William targets them for revenge, wanting to kill them and add them to the family, while also testing possession. The plan is a success, with them being given life as the toys by the puppet. They are later freed sometime before Happiest Day by the puppet, and their fate afterwards is yet unknown. That said, that is the DCI Analyze. Thank you for Shadow Libra for coming in and covering the Street Kids evidence. Check out his channel down below. I hope this can help in solving this endless mystery of the DCI, as I do think this is a very good explanation and just fill in most of the gaps. But remember, however, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and ring the bell, I guess. Expect a theory video next, and eventually a plush bear analysis. Have a great day, and see you next time.